Good morning. It's a brand new week, today being the 17th day of June 2019, and we say welcome to yet another edition of our breakfast magazine program, the Star Good Morning Show, here on Star Television on Channel 21. I am Leonora Jawara. And top stories we shall be looking in the program today. The Minister of Lands, Housing and the Environment, Dr. Dennis Sandi, has refuted claims that the Ministry of Lands didn't derive its authority while embarking on the repossession of government lands within the Western area. The Executive Chairperson, Environment Protection Agency, Sierra Leone, Professor Sir Jawad, has revealed that the EPA Sierra Leone has entered into official partnership with the United States Environment Protection Agency. The West African Civil Society Forum has updated media practitioners and the general public on their ongoing regional capacity building on the Africa Charter on Democracy, Election and Governance on Thursday, 13 June 2019. These stories and more coming up shortly. Now with me in the studio is Bale Kuruma, National Coordinator, Movement for Public Accountability and Development. She'll be telling me more on the outcome of a UNESCO-supported program developing women's capacity in governance, and we shall also be looking on women's empowerment issues in Sierra Leone. Good morning, Bale, and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
All right. Also with me is Alvin, Partnership Development Executive, ECOMED. He will be talking to me on the services provided by ECOMED as one of the diagnostic centers in Freetown. Good morning, Alvin, and welcome.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
You're welcome. I shall be with you guys shortly. And remember, the Star Good Morning Show is sponsored by Rokel Commercial Bank. First, let's have a message from our sponsors.
Give me money.
What money?
Give me
Okay, I'm
money.
not saying open up. What am I going?
Can't give me money. Ah, what's kind of bad stick this? What's enough for pussy money again? You can't take her. Why for the shash me bad self?
Auntie Jojo.
Mama, how you doing?
Ah, thank you. I don't come on a bank. What you make you face this one?
That's what that man. Hey, Gappy can't take me money, don't go. But why don't tell her say they can't give me money if it's a joke?
Hey, Auntie Jo. All the way me can at this society meet. If man take your money loss. You know don't hear about financial inclusion. Where Rokel Commercial Bank they make everybody, no matter how you turn, no matter the kind of business where they do.
Financial rating.
Inclusion.
Darling, for all man.
Any item, you not cripple in the bank. You not cripple for bank. Because not for the today, for we tomorrow one. And now they don't make it easy for we. They don't open in different way. Then we go make you bank not go feel bad about your banking system at all. Then get a account.
You look one confused me small. Then keke rider there. Wait, say they open accounts for them. Wait. Where they want to ride bike? Them totes man, they don't more lanky driver they all.
Yes.
They only open accounts for them.
Yes. Sometimes you want buy keke, you go and ride for potty forever. You dey go put that small thing. Come up a keke account. They get the other account so they call Comra account. Therefore we then Comra them.
For we?
Yes. We then Comra them. So tell you picky don't put on school. That nose give they help we let my people go. When reach now for go college, you not get money. Yeah. But that account will be the open for I can just go and take you pay school fee.
When they talk about this Comra business, the Comra account where they go open. Well, you ain't no born now.
You dey still open accounts. Comra accounts, then give back that mandate where you open them. When you born to the pikin they can run back through that account there. So they don't make as you and now they don't open branch now bonds. Imagine how far they go now. Therefore make things easy for me and you too.
Hey, better way can tell me, oh, hey, Sergeant Tenki. That me sister, the way we in picking they thief money, the way they destroy that one day. And they go mad, they go tell her.
Rokel Commercial Bank, I made them make it easy. They say tell you paddy, may go tell you paddy.
And they go tell her.
What I tell you so go you explain her. Life is easy.
Rokel Commercial Bank, bank with Rokel Commercial Bank, number one. Bank with Rokel.
6 minutes gone past 9 is the time from our studio clock. Now, as the world celebrates Father's Day yesterday, let's have a message from ECOMED Sierra Leone. There is nothing more appealing than a smart man who drops his men to work, goes outside and chops wood, A man who has both physical and mental strength is irresistible. A man who would fiercely protect his family, who can hold a child with all his love and tenderness. But how can this be possible without strength in health? How do you achieve strength in health without knowledge of your health status? Fathers, your roles are ordained and indispensable. Stay healthy for your families. Ensure that you get screened to know your health status and live long for your loved ones. This message is brought to you by courtesy of Ecomed Advanced Medical Diagnostics, your one-stop shop for laboratory and imaging analysis. Ecomed, putting your health first. Well, that's a message from Ecomed in celebration of Father's Day yesterday, and we say congratulations to all responsible fathers in the world. Now, let's begin our program today with our first news item before I come back to my studio guest. The Minister of Lands, Housing and the Environment, Dr. Dennis Nde, has refuted claims that the Ministry of Lands didn't derive its authority while embarking on the repossession of government lands within the Western area. He made this disclosure at the weekly government space briefing at the Ministry of Information and Communication. Let's have more in this.
Under the new direction, I'm not concerned about any more police population. Me, I'm not attending. We go into enforcement and implementation because at the end of the 5-year period, we'll be judged not by the policies, but what people will be seeing on the ground. It's simple. This country is rich in policy formulation. We have all the documents, we have all the acts, we have all the instruments. You think they don't know? Yes, over time we can review them because time is dynamic. And then the environmental dimension, things change, that is clear. As I'm talking to you now, even the first lift for the military guys is under consideration by His Excellency. Last week we were at Samuel Town. We've discovered a whole piece of land where a developer is coming to put up a state-of-the-art modern housing facility for our military women and men. The same thing for Bafos Barracks. But then we need to be serious regarding implementation. That's the key. Housing. Of course, you're all seeing the dilapidated or derelict structures, of the OU villas. You've seen them. We should have passed that stage now. You go to Ghana now, look at it. I saw something on social media. The kind of housing infrastructure being put up by the Ghanaians is like the ones we are seeing in Europe and Americas. What are you talking? And then we have OU villas there that are so dilapidated, and you want us to leave them in a lie. There will come a time when I know the president will take that bold decision. Now, you know what? OU villa, we have to knock all of them down, give them to a good developer that will change the landscape of this station to the good of this country. That is implementation. But let us move further. Apart from the buildings I'm seeing around Apatit coming up now, and then Hill Court Road on the left-hand side, where we have these military guys, do we have an apartment building in Freetown? No. We don't have! We are still lagging behind. We don't have. And then we are here talking that we are proud to be Australians. Yeah, because we are born here. So we don't have any choice. You just have to say that. But when we moved into other African countries, Abuja, Accra, even here, Liberia, they have apartment buildings. We don't have. When you move to the Americans, believe me, you land in America today in Washington or Dallas or California, you are short of having your own apartment building. You can decide to stay there for the rest of your life. This is why nobody's grabbing land in America. So if you give us time to implement land use planning for overall development, honestly, in the next 10 years of the power of government, you see the difference in this country. Now, we have a team that were established almost 2 or 3 months down the line. It's called the Repossession Committee of the Ministry. The role of that committee is to move around the entire western region, both rural and urban, identify possible state lands, and then move in that again if the documents are suspicious or not authentic. We hold negotiations and discussions with members of the community, and then we strike a balance. And that balance has really, proved useful for us, as a ministry. I'm pleased to say that we have had negotiations with people from Bathurst and Charlotte. Now, this was what happened that most of you don't know. You see, the Ministry of Land is a very technical and sensitive area. If you don't have the expertise, the best you can do is to come and ask, but don't involve in discussions that you too don't understand. Now, how can you have a piece of land, say 100 acres, and then you don't have a document for it, and then you said the land belongs to you? Or how can you have a piece of land, say 150 acres, and then the land you produce is suspicious or even fake? The land doesn't belong to you. Simple. So what we have done to avoid all these cases of going to the courts, and to avoid all these conflicts, and to avoid all these suspicions, we've held discussions with them. Let's say, for instance, you have 80 acres of land at Charlotte. You come to the ministry, we discuss. All what you want is to sell those tracts of land. We'll give you 50, we'll give you 30 acres of land, and the government, of course, is proud to have the remaining 50 acres of land that we are distributing effectively to Australians. What is wrong with that? If you die today, and then let's say Allah forbids, if I fall down today and go, I will have a place called my resting place, called a grave. It's clear. So why can't you have your own 2-town lot or a place you can call yours when you are alive? You don't need to die before you can get a place called your home. You don't need to die. So that is the simple analogy. On lands, I'm proud again to say that for the 4th batch or the 4th time, we have issued conveyances, freehold conveyances to deserving Australians. Freehold conveyances. This is the 4th list. These are the conveyances of those who are not able to come to actually collect their conveyances. Look at them. There is no conveyance here, with the name Dr. Sandy or Ex-Bonafa. These are people, over time, with state land documents. They've constructed their houses, they're living there with their families, and they want freeholds now. We have given them their freehold documents. Now, this is it. You come for the freehold interview, we discuss the fee openly, very transparently, you pay to the government, and then we undertake the entire process of processing your conveyance. All you need to do is to come now when called upon, say, congratulations, this is your conveyance.
All right, this is the Star Good Morning Show live here on Star TV, channel 21. Now, let me come to my studio guest, like I said earlier, with Ms. Bale Kuruma, National Coordinator, Movement for Public Accountability and Development. She is here to talk to us on the outcome of a UNESCO-supported program developing women's capacity in governance and women's empowerment issue. Also is Alvin Kathahina, Partnership Development Executive, ECOMED. He's also here to talk to us on the services provided by ECOMED as one of the diagnostic centers in Freetown. What's Women's First? Let me begin with Bale. Bale, good morning again.
Good morning once more.
First, your organization, Accountability and Development. What is it all about?
The Movement for Public Accountability and Development is a non-governmental organization dealing with issues around governance and accountability in the country. We are looking at issues around governance and how accountable the governance system is, the workplace, even the non-governmental organization. We just want to see accountability in the country.
Okay, so what have you been doing as an organization?
As an organization, we start this organization as a drama theater group called FLAG, Future Leaders Action Group for Education, where we perform street drama in disseminating the message to the people, the message of accountability and good governance to people out there. But now, since 2008, we have transformed into a movement which is now called the Movement for Public Accountability and Development, MOPAD.
Okay. Now, public accountability and development, and we're talking about women's empowerment, and one of the things about women's empowerment is women having the right in taking decisions of national issues, including politics.
Yeah.
So, what's your take on Sierra Leone's women in politics?
Very poor. That's my take. First of all, as an organization, we have implemented lots of projects. One of them is the Financial Literacy Project with the Bank of Sierra Leone. Recently, we just concluded a project with the World Bank on accountability around taxation, which involved both the council, Western Rural and Urban District. As of now, we just concluded a project, a 30-minute video documentary for UNESCO and the significance
What is
of
that project about?
the project is to empower women in politics, that the significance of women in politics. It's a governance project. A 30-minute video documentary which we just concluded, and on the 30th May, I'm sure, we launch it at the Radisson Blu. Recently, we have just returned from regional sensitization, where we pay visits to 5 regions, starting from the Kenema, the East, the North, the West, and the South. We target Kenema, Bo, Bombali Makini, Putloko, and Waterloo.
Okay. Now, when you talk about the significance of women in politics, how important is it for women to be part of political decisions?
It is very, very important for women to be part of the political decision. Why? Because for me and UNESCO, we believe that women are less corrupt. I'm telling you. Looking at the percentage rates of the percentage rates of Sierra Leone, the population rate, women form the majority because we are 52%. But when you look at women in parliament, recently it's just 13%. There are not many. We don't have lots of women involved in governance issues. Not only governance issues. Women, they don't give women the chance to actively participate towards politics in this country. As for me, I witness the sharing of symbol to some extent. I'm telling you, they don't issue, the political parties don't give symbol to lots of women. There are few women out there, few women in parliamentarian, councillors. When you go to council, we don't have much women. They don't give us the space to participate, to actively participate in politics. I'm telling you.
But again, this has always been the issue. Women not forming a good percentage in governance, and we've always been crying for 30% quota for gender equality. But again, most women just think to be at the back seats. Women don't have the drive to come forward and take bold steps like men do. So don't you think that is also a barrier?
Yeah, that is a very big barrier. But I'm telling you, if you watch the video documentary we did for UNESCO, you will find out that even society marginalize the women. I'm telling you, some have the spirit, some have the motivation to vow for position, but even when they take the step, other women did not support them. They don't have the full support of their fellow women. Some women prefer to support men than their fellow women because I think they feel fragile or inferior. I don't know why. And I believe women can do it better in terms of governmental issue or any other position. We can do it better. But the men did not create the space for us most of the time. Because if a woman, okay, looking at Salima to the video documentary, she took the bold step and vow for parliamentary position. The political party where she belonged denied her the symbol. But because she is motivated by other women and some men out there, she vowed for independent candidates. Despite all the violation, she eventually marginalized the winner.
Okay, and about quickly before I come to Alvin, you talk about women not supporting women. We have lots of women's organization in the country preaching about women's empowerment. What's your take about them? Do you think they're giving women the support they need? Do you think they're reaching out to the less privileged women, so the grassroots women and not only the elites, so that they too can be empowered?
I don't think. Let me just check the percentage. Anyway, 50% they are reaching out to the grassroots, but I'm telling you, they target more of the elites. And we are talking about the grassroots, because most of the women out there are engaged at the grassroots. I'm telling you, the bulk of women, 60 to 70% are grassroots, not elites. So we need to target the organization out there, the women organization, those organizations supporting women need to target the grassroots, because everything starts from the grassroots. If you want the country to be developed, you need to target the grassroots. Don't just leave it among the elites, the universities. Not everyone have the opportunity, especially women, to be up there. Most of them, look at the Dove Courts, they are bachelors. They are the grassroots. And looking at them, they form majority of the women of this country, the population of this country. I'm telling you. But they are not targeting the grassroots 100%.
Okay.
Not even 50%.
Okay. Continue to stay with me. She's Ballet. We're talking about women's empowerment and women in governance issues in Sierra Leone. This is the Star Good Morning Show. I have with me also Alvin Katahina. Yeah, I got it right. Yeah, he's from EcoMed. We're here to talk about their services and what they've been doing in the country as an advanced diagnostic center. Welcome again, Alvin.
Thank you.
How long has EcoMed been operating in Sierra Leone?
Well, EcoMed had to go ahead to begin business in 2009. It started out as a laboratory where we only dealt with, laboratory analysis. And within a period of 6 months, we managed to develop the imaging center as well. So we are you can say we are fully fledged diagnostic center, and we can best be described as a one-stop shop when it comes to diagnostic analysis. When it comes to the lab, of course, we're talking of tests ranging from your hematology to chemistry, microbiology, immunology, and rather than just stay with the topics, of course, we are talking of your HP level, your full blood count. We are talking of investigations for infectious diseases and what have you. We're talking of your normal chemistries, where we are talking of your function of your liver, your kidney functions, your lipid profile, where we check your cholesterols and all that. When you come to the imaging center, of course, we fully equipped. We have a CT scan, we have an X-ray, we have ultrasound, we have also an MRI, we have a mammogram, and of course, a mammogram and MRI are the only functional ones in the whole of Sierra Leone, and it's kind of unfortunate. Of course, we would have wished that, of course, the country would be much more better equipped when it comes to healthcare, but this is the current situation, and so we as EcoMed would also try and make our service as accessible and affordable to the people as much as possible. So depending on the kind of request that you get from your doctor, we are able to do whatever test that you need to do at our end, and we can guarantee that your results are always going to be reliable, because the quality and the reliability of results that come out is the difference between life and death for the patient. If it's misdiagnosed, if it has to do with the surgery, or if it has to do with the certain treatment that you're given. If it's a wrong diagnosis, you can just imagine. Instead of the patient getting better, the person only gets worse. So we always base our emphasis on quality. We spend a lot of resources on quality. We try and run our daily controls, calibrations, and all that, just to ensure that whatever result that come out is something that the doctors can rely on. We also have an in-house doctor. We've got different kinds of people who come to our end. We have people who come with requests from doctors. We have people who just even walk in to come and do tests. Now, some of these people don't really have a doctor that they see to. So, of course, when I come and I want to run some tests, some might have an idea what is working or what they want to do, know about routine diagnosis, and want to come have some tests done. Of course, after that, you need to see a doctor for the doctor to look at your test and tell you that, okay, you are healthy in this section, maybe you need to do this or that, and also advise you on your diet and all that. So yes, we have an in-house doctor who do consultancy services for you. We also have a home call whereby we've got people who are incapacitated, who are not able to move from, like the aged, who are not able to move from their homes, and we are on call. We're called to come either to take their samples to run analysis at our center, and also when they need services of the doctor, we can get our doctor to also get to them. So apart from just staying in our comfort zone, we try and also make our services as closer to the people as much as possible.
So basically, what do you offer? What are the services you provide for patients?
Yes, so basically that's what I just stated. Apart from our normal in-house diagnostic test that we run, I've already gone through the things that
What are the diagnostic opportunities?
well, basically, I mean, we've got different types of illnesses. We've got different types of ailments or conditions. People could also do, and that is one of our emphasis, routine diagnostic testing. You don't have to wait until you fall ill before you walk in to the doctor or to the lab or wherever. We're trying to inculcate in people the culture of coming in at least once every 6 months to come and have yourself checked, because we might apparently be healthy walking. Once we know, we wake up and we go about our daily duties, we might say, hey, we are healthy, but you don't know what might be going on in your body. Your cholesterol level might be high, your blood pressure might be high. If you don't check these things, how would you know? Because these things, when you know them, then one, you know how to live your life. One, you need to probably know that, okay, you're not getting enough sleep. You need to think about getting enough sleep. You need to probably cut down on your oil. You need to cut down on certain lifestyle, probably reduce your intake of alcohol, know how to live your lifestyle. So these things give you a good idea of your status. And we are trying to inculcate that in people because, of course, prevention is better than cure. Once you know what is wrong with you, you know how to live your life. So we are trying to afford people these services that, hey, this is not for a certain group of people. This is for everybody. And so you should make the effort to try and then get yourself screened. We know, of course, generally, yes, the economic situation is, for a lot of people, is not the best. So we have a lot of these, packages which are heavily, discounted, that afford people the opportunity to come and run a number of tests at very good discounted prices, so that at least, like I said, it's about making it affordable and accessible to as many people as possible.
So do you do all major medical diagnostic?
We do every single thing from hematology right down to things that are not even normal, even biopsies and all that. We organize for those things to be done. We have a number of highly standardized partners who we partner with them to run these some of these specialized tests. So there are some specialized tests that, of course, we would partner with some people to also do for us, but most of them, about 80 to 85%, are run locally. In times past, and even in present times, depending on the kind of condition that people are suffering from, people are compelled to go outside of Sierra Leone to go have some of these diagnoses or some of these tests. That sometimes people do go to Ghana, people go to Nigeria and what have you. We are trying to make these as much as possible to prevent all that. Cut down on your expenditure, flying, spending on ticket, accommodation, whatnot. What's better way than having it in our country?
So one fear that people normally have when they go to some places for test, the results might not be reliable. Something might be doing you and probably they will tell you something else, and that has been the fear for most people. So how reliable are the results from your diagnosis?
Well, sometimes I like to say that we don't like to blow our own horn, we like others to even blow our horns for us. We have numerous doctors who send their patients to us for them to be tested, and these doctors over the years, if you talk to them, you'd realize that, hey, we've had good reason to rely on Ecomed for all these number of years. Unfortunately, as much as, yes, we would like to have a lot of options to the people, a lot of these few labs around the country are not up to standard. They don't do the simple things that need to be done on a daily basis to make sure that those results are reliable. Like I mentioned earlier, I talked of controls and calibration. These controls are things that you run as in blanks to make sure that these tests are falling within a particular range. They are precise, they are accurate, and whatever comes out should fall within the expected range. There are certain conditions that the doctors would suspect, and the results will go a long way to indicate that you are either having high risk factors or you are within the range. So this is where the reliability of the results come in. Now, of course, let's say for one reason or the other, the doctor says, okay, these results that I have, I'd really like to go more into it. We can do the repeat test and then run them for them to see how consistent the results are. So when it comes to us, our emphasis always is on quality. Of course, people might, the perception, and perception is very strong. Perception that, hey, ECOMED is, it's an advanced medical diagnosis. We kind of an elitist company, but hey, we are there for the people right from the top to the bottom. That's why I told that we, in our own efforts, try to make our services as accessible and affordable as
So
possible.
another concern, many times you go to laboratory, you go to lab for test and all, having your results, it's a complete headache. You take weeks, you take so much time to have your results.
Yeah.
So you ECOMED, how prompt is your result?
Yeah, it's good you asked that question. When it comes to ECOMED, our emphasis is on, because there are certain cases that might be life and death. So our emphasis is on making sure, yes, one, apart from getting the quality of result, also the speed with which we get these results to the concerned person, either to the patient for him to go to the doctor, or these results go directly to the doctor. Now we have two options. It's either you can walk in, come and collect your results physically, or we can send these results to you by email. And that's something that we've been doing, even with our different collaborations that we have with other companies. We send the results by, depending on their preference. Some prefer both, some also prefer either. Because, of course, depending on the distance, wherever you might be working or wherever you might be, it might be a challenge to come, after those tests. Because some, of course, you can wait and get the results, depending on the test. Some also within a 24-hour span. Now, there are some of these tests as well that need a lot more time, sometimes 3 days, sometimes a week, sometimes even 2 weeks, like some of these biopsies, for you to get those results. So we make it known to you that these are the processes, and the doctors themselves know that, okay, this is how long it takes. So what we do is we just establish with you, okay, you want it by email or you want it by hard copy, and it goes through. And, for us, we hardly have issues with that.
Okay, quickly before I come back to Bali, now ECOMED has been operating here for some time now. How has the journey been so far for you guys?
Yes, it's been a roller coaster journey. Of course, any good thing that you start doesn't come easy. Of course, like I said initially, we started as a lab, and I think within a period of 6 months, we managed to expand and become a full diagnostic center. I think our driving force has been, the people. That's why our motto says, putting your health first. It's not about us, but it's about the people. If the people, health is wealth. If we have all the beautiful plans that we want to do, developing our country, making life easy, or let's say making cost of living affordable for our people, working hard to provide for our families and all that. If we want to do all these beautiful plans and we don't have health, we don't have strength to do it, there's no point. So our passion has been putting the health of our people first. So whatever we do or whatever role we have to play from our side to contribute to the health and well-being of the people, to give them the optimum health care, we do it. And that has been our driving force throughout all the challenges. Of course, we have the times where we had the Ebola crisis and all that, whereby we had to close temporarily for a while. But we came back even stronger, and we are offering even better services to our people.
Okay, thank you. Continue to stay with me. He's Alvin Katahida from ECOMED, and we're talking about the services they're offering here in Sierra Leone. Now let's go back to women's issue, and with me is Bale Kuruma. Bale, now we've talked about women not being fully represented in governance, but again, women's empowerment is very, very, very important. What, in your view, do you think it is the importance of women's empowerment in a society? How important is it for us as a nation, for women to be empowered?
It is very, very important for women to be empowered, because I believe for a nation to be developed, we need to empower our women. As I've said earlier, we already form 52% of the population of this country, of this our beloved country. So I believe if we empower the women out there, Sierra Leone will become a better place.
Well, what do you think are some of the issues bordering on women's empowerment? What are some of the barriers
as I've said earlier, society. Most women feel inferior. They always think they are just meant to be in the kitchen or at the back, not the front. That is the perception, especially for our women out there in the rural setting. They don't have, looking at the educational level, let's take it starting from nursery. We don't have lots of women. The education of the girl child is very, very poor. Most of the dropouts out there are women. You know that. Most of them are women. For some parents, they see the education of the girl child as a waste. They just focus on the male child, thinking that after some time, maybe at the age of 15, 16, 17, I will give my child for marriage. No, we need to empower our girls for them to become better people in future tomorrow. Because for me, if you educate a child, a girl child, you educate a nation. But when you educate a male child, you just educate one part of that nation, not the whole nation.
So most times people are empowered when they're able to access opportunities available to them without limitation or restrictions, such as in education, profession, or lifestyle. But like you said, most women don't have the opportunities. Most women, they prefer to just lag behind, just sit behind and not come forward.
Yes.
How do we change that perception of women? How do we change the narrative?
Yeah, that's why UNESCO decided to join hand with MOPAD to develop this video documentary in order to motivate the women out there, to ginger them to be actively participate, not only in governance issues, but also in issues, developmental issues of the country. Because we don't just want to limit it towards governance issue. There are other significant roles women can play towards the development of any nation, not only limited towards governance. Looking at the workplace, we don't have lots of women. In managerial levels, we don't have lots of women. Because politics starts at the university, we don't have lots of women. Looking at the lecturers out there, in the various universities of this country, the men dominate the space. I'm telling you, we have lots of male lecturers than female, because they are not empowered. They are not given the chance.
Alright, continue to stay with me, Bale Kuruma. Quickly, let's go in for another news item. I'll come back to you guys. Now, the Executive Chairperson, Environment Protection Agency, Sierra Leone, Professor Fode Jawad, has revealed that the EPA Sierra Leone has entered into official partnership with the United States Environment Protection Agency. Let's have more in this report.
According to the executive chairperson of the Environment Protection Agency Sierra Leone, Professor Fode Jawad, the partnership, among others, is to seek international support in the areas of capacity building to address some of the challenges facing the Environment Protection Agency Sierra Leone. During the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding with United States Environment Protection Agency, Professor Jawad used the occasion to make a presentation on the environmental governance framework in Sierra Leone and possible areas of interventions, and provided an overview of the important strides the government of Sierra Leone was making to improve on the country's environmental laws.
In terms of the quality control management, we have conducted research on air and water quality, and we have developed a draft regulation on air, water, and soil quality to reduce the level of organic pollutants in our waters. Okay? And these draft regulations are currently with the Law Officers Department. We've also developed sector-specific guidelines to ensure water and air quality control and compliance with requirements of EPA. Okay? And the EPA, in collaboration with UNEP, is developing a national action plan on air, water, and quality management for hazardous chemicals as well. The good thing here is we have also developed what we call the ECAS, the Environmental Cadastral System for effective environmental monitoring and management. This one needs a whole lecture. For example, if you pay all your EIA license, you are due to get a license. As long as those steps are not done, you ask the machine to print the license, that license will never be printed.
On the control quality management, Professor Jawad intimated that the Environment Protection Agency Sierra Leone have conducted research on air and water quality with a developed draft regulation on air, water and soil quality to reduce the level of organic pollutant. These draft regulations are currently with the Law Officers Department. He further noted that EPA Sierra Leone is strengthening its monitoring activities on the operations of companies and the hotels industry to ensure compliance, adding that compliance level has increased considerably with arrest of illegal companies, which Laxophone being a classical example.
I'm working with NMA to form a bond system for the mining companies. That one is in the embryonic stage, and very soon you'll hear about it. Because mining companies go and then, for some reason, if they fold up, they don't rehabilitate the land. So before you start mining, you have to put a certain amount of money. So once you are leaving, we can use that money to rehabilitate the land.
The Environment Protection Agency was established by the Environment Protection Act of 2008 and amended in 2010 to protect the environment of Sierra Leone and effectively manage its natural resources. Compiled by Abdurrahman Kamara, I am Moses Ojukama reporting for Star News.
Alright, 9:44 is the time from our studio clock, and this is the Star Good Morning Show live here on Star TV channel 21. Let me come back to Alvin. I wanted to call him Ecomed. He's from Ecomed. Now, most times when you see your doctor, you want to do surgery or do tests, they will refer you to Ecomed, and it has been described as Freetown most advanced medical diagnostic center. What makes it so?
Well, let's cast our minds back. Not even go far. Let's stay within Freetown. How many centers do we have? Because of course we have a big difference between a laboratory and a full diagnostic center, and it's being advanced. How many have all the facilities centered at one location? I'd stay all day and I'll count probably one. Which one is that Ecomed? Most people are either focusing on the laboratory, and I don't even know of anybody who's really into full radiology, because it's either you're doing one or the other, probably focusing on ultrasound, maybe by the gynae, or you're focusing on CT, and I've already mentioned that MRI, we are the only ones who have this MRI. We've got also a mammogram as well. So of course women come in to have their breasts checked, to check for any possibility of any tumor whatsoever. So what we are saying is that one, we've got the machinery, we've got the equipment that are able to run these tests for people, and we don't have any limitation whatsoever. The technology that we use, each and every analyzer, when you come, you realize that these are modern day technologies that run your analysis within the required space of time that will give you your reliable test. And the way by which we also report, we use modern techniques to also report. So of course, it's about our service, it's about the quality of our service, it's about the speed with which we report our results, and it's about the technology that we use. Obviously, why not being an advanced medical diagnosis? So the name itself speaks for itself, and our services also speak for itself.
So you operate only in Freetown? Do you have
Currently, yes, we are based in Freetown, but I've been on this set before, and I think I mentioned the fact that we are looking seriously into moving out of Freetown. What's the point of being centralized in Freetown when others have to go all the way, take a long distance to come to an end? So yes, we considering moving out of Freetown, and we recently went to Bo to do some feasibility studies to see how possible it is to establish ourselves in Bo. You realize that Bo is the second largest city after Freetown, so why not, what do you call it, bring our service there? At least being there, it gets closer. It's closer to people from Kenema. It's closer to people from Porto Loco. People, so at least make ourselves. It's all part of our agenda to make it accessible as much as possible. So yes, of course, but then you need to also do this step by step. So we've completed our feasibility studies, and we are seriously looking into that. Hopefully, by the close of the year, we should be fully established in Bo, and we'll look at other areas as well.
Okay, so having people who know what they're doing is very vital for any organization. So tell us about the expertise of your staff.
Yes, we've got highly qualified staff, internationally trained, both local and international. We've got a number of locally based, as in Sierra Leone, people who are working with us. We also have internationally trained people from other countries within the West African region, and even from India and all that, who are working with us. So when it comes to our staff and what we do, we focus on also continuous improvement. So we don't only take you and say, hey, okay, this is the knowledge that you have, and so what do you call it, this is what we are tapping from. We also try to build the capacity of our people, so that they always keep on learning new things, refreshing their memories, because health is also dynamic. Things keep on changing day in day out. Research is going day in day out. So it's up to you to also update, and just as the doctors also update their knowledge, so that you keep current, you keep yourself up to date with the current trends, and in that way you try and improve the kind of services or the quality of service that you give to the people. So yes, of course, when it comes to our staff, our emphasis is on quality, and our staff are very reliable, very friendly. We give you all the priority that is needed. Whatever problems that the patients have, we have people who are trained to listen to them, and then if it goes above them, of course, seek the necessary authorities whereby to. Of course, there will be a few. I will not say we are like holier than thou. Of course, being a human institution, there will be a few issues, hicks here and there, but these are in the stark minority. Because whatever it is that comes out, problems are there to be solved. So whatever it is that comes out, we find a solution to it, and then we move on from there.
So considering your equipment, how can you assess the quality of your equipment as EcoMed?
So basically what we do is, one, we've got what we call preventive maintenance. Now, we don't wait until these machines break down before we start. Of course, machines can act up, but basically we have programs whereby we run preventive maintenance programs on these machines. Now we've got major and the minor. So we do these on these machines whereby certain key parts are changed, just to make the machine as close to its initial original new state as possible, to make sure that they run and they give us reliable results. Of course, apart from that, we also have our daily quality checks that we do that ensure that whatever that we are going to run fall within the range. And we've got even external quality that we are trying to collaborate with certain standardization bodies to be coming to collaborating with us, just to make sure that we are on the right, and we make sure that we fall within certain standards.
Okay, continue to stay with me. Is Alvin from EcoMed, and let's go back to Ballet. Let's look at women's issue. Now, Ballet, we're talking about women's empowerment, but for me, I believe one must acquire empowerment themselves rather than waiting for someone else to give them an opportunity, or waiting for an external party. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I'm totally agree with that, because women, for someone to be empowered, you need to empower yourself. But most women out there do not have the capacity. They are not capacitated. You need to capacitate yourself in order for you to be in the front. But to some extent, there is lack of capacity building.
So how can you assess the measures government are taking in the area of women's empowerment? Do you think they're doing enough?
They are not doing enough, but they are trying. But all I'm saying, for all women out there, we need to capacitate ourselves if we want to be fully empowered. As the saying with charities begins at home. If you capacitate yourself and we change our mindset, I believe everything will go on very smooth. But even the mindset of the women out there is still the same. Most women out there, as I said earlier, still feel inferior, still felt left behind.
Well,
They don't think they have the capacity to do what men can do.
Don't you think again the society plays a great role, the cultural values, because most people, their culture, their tradition believe being a woman, you are limited to so many things. So those perceptions need to be changed.
Change, yes. I believe I measured, and I talked about it earlier, that even the society is a barrier towards women empowerment. Society marginalize the women. Some of our society marginalize the women. They don't give and create the space for the women to take active role, not only in governance issue, to take leadership role. Even look in the situation of paramount chiefs. Let's start there. They only encourage men to be paramount chiefs. When if a woman stand to be paramount chief, vow for that position, it will be very, very tough indeed. You need to go through the secret societies to be initiated forcefully if you want to be fully active. And it is not good for the development of our country. Society needs to create a space for women to be in the front. But serious, the marginalization level is so key in terms of society. Society don't allow women, our religion, sometimes our religion don't allow women.
Would you agree also that let's look at women's economic empowerment, entrepreneurship, and a focus on SMEs? Would you agree with me that it is also key to women's empowerment?
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. And when we are talking about the capacity of women, the capacity building of women, we are not talking only about the educational sector. Looking at the life skills, let us capacitate our women even in the life skills level. Like you do the garage dyeing, catering, all that one is capacity building. It does not mean that only if you pass through the university, you can vow for government position or other significant position for you to become somebody. You can do some skills, training, and you can become somebody self-employed.
So as I round up with you, what will be your closing thoughts? What message would you like to pass on?
First of all, I want to call on all women out there coming 2023 for them to come out in numbers, to vow for government position, for them to take active role towards the political era of our country. And I'm pleading to the political parties out there, as I'm talking about this video documentary of UNESCO, let them give chance to women. Let them issue symbols to women. If a woman vow for any position, I'm pleading to them, for them to allow them.
Thank you
so that they can be actively and fully represented, for them to represent their various communities.
Okay, Bale, thank you so very much. I also do believe what men can do, women we can do it better.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bale Kuruma. Quickly, Alvin, I see you smiling. It's true. Now, quickly, now EcoMed being so advanced, so many people think it's only for elites, like you said. How affordable are your fees? The price is there.
Our fees are affordable if you consider the factors that go into it. It will even surprise you to know that there are some basic lab tests that we do that are even less expensive there than other labs out on the market, which I don't need to mention names of. But that perception is almost always there. If you don't go in and try, we encourage people to come. If you don't come in and you try, how would you know that? We've got numerous cases of people who come in and are pleasantly surprised. Oh, really? Is that how much the cost is? And there are some, of course, there are certain specialized tests that, of course, will be probably more expensive than the basic ones. We are talking about the biopsies, whereby we want to investigate for presence or absence of cancerous cells and all that, and certain other specialized tests. The kind of resources that go into it to bring out the results would make it a bit more, on the high side. But hey, what are the options there? The other options are more expensive. Traveling outside of the country, spending money on your ticket, having to go book accommodation elsewhere, booking of appointments and all. If you have this service within your country, why not? Which is even far less than all that you go through. So you realize that in a nutshell, yes, it is probably a little bit on the high side, depending on the kind of test that you want to do. But looking at your other options, you realize that, hey, we are even trying to cut down and make it as affordable to the people as much as possible. We every now and then come up with some programs that encourage people to come in and get themselves tested, sometimes heavily discounted and all that. We've got a number of collaborations with a lot of these health bodies, Thinking Pink Breast Cancer Foundation. We have a collaboration with them whereby mammogram tests are heavily discounted. We also have our own Well Woman package, I think, which we talked about, especially during the cancer period, the World Cancer Day time, and also even on Mother's Day as well, whereby we have a range of tests for women who come to have themselves checked out, and these tests are heavily discounted. I mean, from up to about 50%. We even, of course, we can't leave us out, the men, because we are there for you, also there for us. So even when it comes to the men, we celebrated Father's Day yesterday. We also have a Well Man package, which has already been in existence for a while now. But of course, if you don't drum the message of importance of diagnostic testing to everybody, and you leave it as that, and you don't keep on reminding them, people are just going to take things for granted. So we encourage all the people, all the professionals, and all the people from all walks of life, come and get yourself tested. Nobody is left out. All our packages have their age ranges, whether well man, whether well woman, and especially with well man, as we just celebrated Father's Day. We are encouraging the men to come and come and get themselves tested. We've got ranges of tests right down from as low as even 500,000 to about.
So EcoMed is a game changer.
We are a game changer, and we are always looking to for continuous improvement, not just improvement from our side, also improvement in the health of the people. So we are encouraging not just our men, but everybody in general to come get yourself screened and make sure you know your health status. When you know your health status, because trust me, every single person has a certain wouldn't say condition, but has a certain characteristic, which depending on the diet and kind of lifestyle you live, you would either, if it's a positive one, you enhance it. If it's a negative one, you suppress it, and that improves your life expectancy.
So where is EcoMed located?
EcoMed is located 19 off Upper Kinhaman Road, Brookfield. It's very close to Aspen Medical Center. I think from from town, I think Aspen is a road before. Yeah, so 19 of Upper Kinhaman, we are close to, I think, the Ghana tourist border, so we are close to that area. And we've got a couple of numbers. Of course, you can always call in and ask about the tests that you want to do, or whatever inquiries that you have. It's either 030-999-529 or 030-999-528. We also have our website. We have our email address as well. All the mediums of communications are there. And some of us have also, because we are kind of the face of EcoMed, we have our numbers out there where people can always call us.
Quick message for your customers.
Well, once again, I say that, hey, health is wealth. That is the first thing that we need to achieve first. Once we have health and we have life, there is hope for everything. So how do we know that if we don't know our health status? I encourage people, get yourself screened. Let's inculcate in us. Let's not wait for us to fall ill or feel one ailment or the other. Let's inculcate in us the importance of diagnostic testing. Let's check up ourselves, routine diagnostic testing, know our health status, see our doctors, and let them advise us on what we need to do. Once we have that, our life expectancy goes up, and once we are healthy, we can always put our heads together to develop a nation.
All right, thank you so very much. It's Alvin Katharina, Partnership Development Executive ECOMED. We've been talking on their services they're offering here in Sierra Leone. I've also been talking to Bale Kuruma, National Coordinator, Movement for Public Accountability and Development. We've been talking on women's issue and women in governance in Sierra Leone. Well, the program returns tomorrow at 9 a.m. with another edition. Thank you all for watching. I am Leonora Jawara. Do have yourself a wonderful day.